The Golden Shoe, a gift from the Blessed Virgin Mary. A widow had 3 children. Diligent and working day and night as a thread spinner, she was able to support her entire family. On the morning of the feast of Our Lady of the Rosary, the widow brought her thread to her close friends, hoping they would pay her for her spinning work. Unfortunately, everyone shook their heads, leaving her without a single penny, as none of them had money to pay. Before returning home, the woman stopped at a church and prayed before the statue of Our Lady of the Rosary. She whispered to the Blessed Mother, "O Mother of God, you are our mother. You know that I have nothing to feed my hungry children today. I won't light the stove because there is no flour and there is no bread left. Please help me because I am sad and desperate." Moved by the widow's plight, the Blessed Virgin Mary extended her foot and kicked off one of her golden shoes towards the widow. At that moment, the widow trembled with joy, hurriedly took the shoe, and went to the marketplace where a jeweler's shop was to sell it. However, the shop owner recognized the shoe as belonging to the Virgin Mary, so she called the authorities, who came to arrest the widow and took her to prison. Before her sentence, the widow asked to pray one last time before the statue of Our Lady of the Rosary, and her request was granted. "O most holy Mother of God," the widow exclaimed as she stood before the statue, "please show everyone whether this golden shoe was a gift from you or if I stole it from you." Everyone stood silent and watched in awe. At that moment, the statue of the Blessed Virgin Mary began to shake. Her face brightened, and people saw her raise her foot and push the other golden shoe towards the widow. Witnessing this miracle, the crowd erupted in excitement, with some crying and others laughing in joy. The widow was freed and returned home with the golden shoe, a gift from the Blessed Virgin Mary. The story of the Black Madonna of Czestochowa. Jesus grew up quickly and healthily. Glam Maria. Thank God. Joseph, I see that our Jesus is truly a good young man. Our dining table has become too small. I'll make a bigger one. What do you think? Thus, St. Joseph decided to build a new dining table for the family in Nazareth. Jesus helped his father select 2 flawless pieces of wood, beautifully cut from a lemon tree trunk. They crafted a stunning amber-colored table attached to 4 sturdy legs that Jesus carefully planed and polished. Mother Mary prepared a dinner of snow mushroom soup to celebrate the new table. At this table, the family gathered daily for meals and celebrated traditional Jewish rites. It was also here that they observed the Passover feast each year according to the law of Moses. Father Joseph, Mother Mary, and Jesus often conversed and prayed around this table. Mary kneaded dough and prepared meals on it. Most significantly, it was at this table that Jesus declared he must set out to begin his public mission, the young healer and painter. At this table, Mary wept when St. Joseph passed away, and later during the dreadful days after Jesus' crucifixion. On this table, Mary packed her belongings before moving to the home of the Apostle John, Jesus' closest friend, as he had instructed before his death. Before leaving, Mary gazed at the table with tearful eyes and lovingly stroked it. John, understanding what she felt, decided as he often did, "Mother Mary, we will take this table with us." And Mary smiled. That table was the family's most precious treasure, holding cherished memories of Jesus and St. Joseph. As she looked at it, Mary recalled the warm smiles of her beloved family. One day, a young man came to John's house. He wanted to hear Mary recount the story of Jesus and write it down so that others could know it. The young man's name was Luke, a scholar and learned man. He was knowledgeable about the art of herbal medicine, an eloquent and vivid writer, and also a skilled painter. Some women who had been disciples of Jesus visited Mary, and they pleaded with Luke for a favor, to paint a portrait of the Blessed Virgin Mary. At first, Luke refused. "I am not worthy to do this, dear ladies. I fear my brush might spoil the image of our Blessed Mother." But the women persisted, and eventually Luke agreed. He began to search for a wooden table to paint on. Mother Mary noticed his worry and gave him a piece of St. Joseph's memorial table. At home, John also regularly celebrated the breaking of the bread ritual on this table. Luke began painting the portrait of the Blessed Mother. Sometimes she would sit quietly so that the young healer could sketch the features of her face onto the wood. Luke became absorbed in his work. He painted and prayed, occasionally kneeling in silent reverence. The holy women continued to visit, observing and making comments. "Why are you painting Mary so dark?" they asked. Luke replied, "Because the scriptures say, 'Daughters of Jerusalem, I am dark but beautiful, like the tents of Kedar, like Solomon's curtains.'" Why is baby Jesus on her left arm when mothers usually carry their children on the right? Didn't David sing that the queen stands at the king's right hand? So naturally, the child must be on the left, Luke calmly responded. He saw the fire of the Holy Spirit. Rest on her one day, while painting, Luke had a vision of Mary and the apostles. Immersed in the contemplation of this holy mystery, he fell asleep, seeing the fire of the Holy Spirit resting upon her and the apostles. Then he saw 2 angels descend from heaven and complete the painting with divine colors. When Luke opened his eyes, he found the painting fully finished, the Mountain of Light. The painting was given to the pious women of Jerusalem, and for many years it became a cherished piece, admired by many. People flocked to see the holy face of Mother Mary, including the poor, beggars, the disabled, shepherds, and camel drivers. There were also kings, princes, courtiers, and judges. Queen Helena wished to place the painting in her chapel in Byzantium. When the city was under threat, the painting was ceremoniously carried along the city walls, and peace was restored. Afterward, the sacred image was taken to Russia, where Prince Ladislaus of Opole acquired it. He decided to bring the holy painting back to Poland. The prince wanted to hang the painting in the nation's capital, but strangely, the image would repeatedly move from the designated place. Thus, it was placed on a cart pulled by 4 horses, and they proceeded slowly. At the foot of a hill called Yasna Gora, meaning Mountain of Light, near the city of Chenstokhova, the cart suddenly stopped. No matter how they tried, the horses would not budge as if their hooves were nailed to the ground. 4 new horses were brought in to replace them, but they too stood still. The hill echoed with shouts and the crack of whips from the horse drivers. The evening mist began to rise among the trees, as if the angels were mischievously spreading a white veil over the forest. The rays of the setting sun, like golden threads, wove the air into a magnificent picture. At that moment, Prince Ladislaus understood and decided to leave the holy image at the monastery at the foot of the Mountain of Light. Miraculously, the horses moved lightly again, heading toward the parish of Chenstokhova, where the image had first been placed. On the hill, where Mary herself had chosen, a large chapel was built, and it became a pilgrimage center, attracting many visitors. On Easter of 1430, a band of fierce robbers broke into the chapel. One of the thieves slashed the face of the painting with a sword. Those scars remain visible to this day, symbolizing that the Mother of Jesus continues to share the lives of her children, even in their suffering, difficulties, and painful persecutions. And her right hand continues to point to Jesus as the only way to salvation.